Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is D back again with MKD58 Media, and I've got another movie review for you guys. And this movie review is for the 2020 Deon Taylor directed film Fatale. Now, Fatale stars Hilary Swank and Michael Ealy, and I'll kind of give you a little bit of information about the plot, and then I'll give you my feelings about this film. All right, what this movie is about: Michael Ealy plays a super successful owner of a sports agency, and he is married, and he goes away on to attend a bachelor party with, some of his friends and everything. And while he's there, they're in Las Vegas. This is where the bachelor party takes place. He has a one-night stand with a woman played by Hilary Swank. And, one-night stand, it's the definition of a one-night stand. They do the do and then part ways the next day. He puts the tryst behind him and heads back to his regular successful sports agency owner life. But a few days later, after his one-night stand, he experiences a home invasion while he and his wife are at home, and he goes to check it out. He gets attacked, but the attacker does get away. But the detective that ends up being assigned to his case turns out to be none other than the woman he slept with in Las Vegas, Hilary Swank. And of course, this is stressing Ealy out immediately once she walks in the room and he realizes who she is, and it's kind of clear that she recognizes him, but she's not necessarily, ratting him out to his wife. But you can imagine it's a very uncomfortable situation for Mr. Michael Ealy. But beyond just that stressful factor of having his, one night stand enter into him and his wife's home, he also learns that somebody is possibly out to kill him. There's possibly a hit out on him. So he's getting stressed out from all angles in this situation. And this is a movie where you could say there's things in it that could be considered spoilers if you talk about them. There's a few twists and things like that. Granted, quite a few of the kind of twists are pretty predictable, but still, somebody that's watching this movie for the first time, they're not going to want to be told a lot of this stuff in advance. So I'm not going to go any more in depth into the plot, but just know there's backstabbing, twists and turns and all that kind of stuff that you would probably expect from a film like this if you watch the trailer. Basically, my thoughts on this film. This is a sleazy, intentionally so in my opinion, but this is a sleazy noir thriller, kind of in the same vein as films like Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction. Now, this isn't a bad thing, because Basic Instinct in particular is a film that I'm actually a pretty big fan of. That ranks pretty high on my all-time favorite movies list, okay? But this movie, what it is, it's basically fantasy, escapism, crime, noir, sleaze. All right, all the main players are in shape, above average to great looking, and seem to be doing quite well lifestyle-wise, judging by the vehicles and the homes we lay our eyes on in this movie. And of course, they're all extremely lusty and caught up in behaving badly. Now, even though the term sleazy, I've used it multiple times already, I don't actually mean that in a negative fashion. I enjoyed this film. It's almost old school in its whiskey glass after midnight, adults being so bad it's good, crime thriller mood. It's difficult though to confidently call this a good movie, but it's very easy to honestly proclaim that I enjoyed my viewing of it. And interestingly enough, this was, like I said, I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not earlier in this video, but this was a Valentine's Day watch for me and my girl. Kind of funny enough, because this is not a romantic, loving film. It doesn't necessarily cast a positive light on committed relationships, but it's an entertaining film to sit up there with your girl and watch, actually, as long as you're kind of secure in things and don't have any kind of underlying infidelity issues and all that type of stuff. This shouldn't be a movie that's going to stir up all types of ruckus and whatnot. But it's not a traditional Valentine's Day viewing, but I don't really watch traditional mushy lovey-dovey films anyways. So, and it's interesting because the last time I checked the critic and audience, kind of ratings for this film, it's like the critics and the audience are like on complete opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of what they think about this movie. The critic score was somewhere around 36% last time I checked. And the audience score was somewhere around 86%, which this tends to happen with the reviews. A lot of times critics don't like certain things, but the audience will have a good time with the movie and thus give it a positive opinion, a positive review, which, you know, a lot of times the audiences just care about enjoying what they're watching and having a good time. They're not necessarily judging artistic merit and all that type of stuff, because look, this is not an Oscar caliber film by any means, but to me it is a fun, enjoyable watch, and it's only 103 minutes, so it's short, it doesn't drag on, it's just kind of a nice little mischievous movie to watch. It's like I said, a noir thriller, adults behaving badly. Just one of those types of films. But I will put it to you like this. If you saw the trailer for this movie and based off the trailer, you felt like this was something you wanted to check out, well then, once you see this movie, you're most likely gonna get pretty much what you wanted to get. I'll put it like that. So if the trailer interests you and intrigued you enough to go out and check this movie out, or to decide eventually you're going to check it out, I think you're gonna be satisfied with what you get, because the trailer doesn't really deceive you as far as what type of film you're getting and who's in it and what's going on. The trailer pretty much is honest about what this movie is about and kind of how it goes, how it looks, and just the vibe of the film. So yeah. So basically, in conclusion, this is a 103-minute soap opera that's low on love, but packed with lust, money, crime, and toxic relationship intrigue, all right? So my score for this, I'm actually going to give this a 7 out of 10, which feels high. It feels high for this film. I know there's a lot of people that are going to kind of down this film and say it's kind of trash, not really good, just a typical bad movie and all of that type of stuff. But I mean, as I've kind of reiterated before, I kind of rate a lot of these films on my enjoyment level. How did I feel about the film? Did I have a good time watching it? Was it a fun viewing for me? I don't necessarily always rate these films on things like artistic integrity and originality and all that type of stuff. When films have that, I make sure to make note of it, and it does go into the score, but a film doesn't have to have all of that type of stuff for me to actually enjoy it. And if I enjoy a movie, it's hard for me to really just give it a bad score, okay? 7 out of 10, like I said, feels high, seems high, but I had a good time watching it, so I'm not gonna, sit up here and act like, I'm too good to enjoy this type of movie. I had a good time with it, so I do recommend it if you're a fan of, like I said, the kind of sleazy noir, lusty couples, infidelity, people doing each other dirty, double-crossing each other, murder, crime, intrigue, all that type of stuff from noir films. You might be able to get something out of this film if you're into that type of stuff. So that's it, you guys. Fatale, I do recommend it. Directed by Deon Taylor, starring Hilary Swank and Michael Ealy. I didn't really touch on the casting choice in this film, but I'm sure most people noticed that's kind of a different pairing, a unique pairing, and I don't even say that talking about the interracial aspect. I just mean literally the two actors and kind of the films that they're usually in and kind of their reputations and where they rank within the Hollywood totem pole or whatever. It's kind of a unique, it's almost like what if Sharon Stone and Morris Chestnut did a movie together. It's kind of one of those, just an odd pairing, but it worked for me. I thought it was an entertaining film. All right, you guys. So that's it for me. And as always, until the next time, I will catch you on the next go round.